Right, yeah. A horse walks into a bar.
Already I'm furious.
Why are you furious?
Horses can't open doors. Somebody let a horse into a bar. Somebody let a horse into a bar.
It's just a joke.
Well, that makes it worse. You know how hard it is to run a pub these days. Landlords can barely keep their heads above water, and for a prank, somebody let a horse into a bar. Havoc and mayhem.
It's a joke. There is no pub.
It closed down due to equestrian damage, I bet. I hope you're not involved in this.
It's not real. It's a hypothetical horse.
Well, yeah, like that time you asked me what to do if you hypothetically caught chlamydia.
Well, that was a different thing.
Okay, spill the beans. Who's got the clap? You or the horse?
Nobody's got the clap.
I'm going to tell you what I told your Uncle Alan. Take yourself to the doctor and the horse to the vet, and on no account let the vet examine you. You think a prostate exam is bad. These country lads really like to get stuck in.
Uncle Alan?
Well, they should never have let him buy that farm. I know he's your uncle, but he's a disgrace to agriculture.
You're getting this all twisted. A horse walks into a bar.
A horse walks into a bar, you bought it a load of drinks, and now you've got straw in your knickers, and you're not allowed within 50 feet of a gymkhana.
I didn't buy any drink.
You let the horse pay? Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable because it isn't real. For the last time, there is no bar.
You know what? I'm glad it closed down. You couldn't get away with this in a bordello in the last days of Rome.
Oh, forget it.
Well, come on, don't be like that.
No, I'm not in the mood now.
Really? Why the long face?
And now on Niblets TV, we return to our documentary series, Dudley Mallard's Till I Die. And at Mallard Road, there's tension in the boardroom as the new owners try to turn the club's fortunes around.
Well, we're tickling the nether regions of the league. Half our players are injured, our only striker's 47 years old, and the fans are staying away in droves. And who can blame them? I've had surgical procedures that were more enjoyable. So what's the plan, Giles?
3 words, Ralph. Atmosphere. We need to make Mallard Road a cauldron of song. At the moment, it's an egg cup of flatulence. So I've drafted in a consultant. Gents, meet the Reverend Arnold Crumpsall, chant writer extraordinaire.
Oh, hello.
Unless he's come to give the last rites to the goalkeeper, I'm not sure what a vicar's going to do for us.
Well, his...
Oh, you've got a problem with an undersized crowd that refuses to sing. That's church in a nutshell. We've had super results with my billboard campaign. Don't wait, congregate, and pray for forgiveness. You know what you did. And now, the Lord has called me here today to the beating heart of British football, Dudley Mallard's, to spread his message.
Which is?
Well, he wants to see a more attacking play. Absolute truth in football chants and a more reliable defending on set pieces.
But Arnold's just here to fix the chants.
Oh, it's just as well. You don't want to know what Jesus thinks about the diamond formation.
Absolute truth in football chants?
Well, the Bible is very clear on this. Does it not say in the 10 Commandments, "Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbour"? And yet, football chants are a pit, I tell you, of untruth. Just the other day, I heard some Gillingham fans singing that they are, and I quote, "by far the greatest team the world has ever seen." I mean, that's so easily disproved, it's insulting. Why risk eternal damnation for such a flimsy fabrication?
I don't think it necessarily means literally the most successful team.
Oh, don't be like that. I suppose you are one of those "it's all open to interpretation" types. Well, I beg to differ.
What would you suggest?
And it's Gillingham FC. We are a football team in the English Football League. You see, rousing, but less likely to condemn you to the fiery furnace of hell.
It's not very motivating, though, is it? It's just a bald statement of fact.
Well, I think it was Keats who said, "Beauty is truth, truth beauty."
Yes, but how would Keats fare on a wet Wednesday night against Stoke?
Well, another thing. At the away game last night, our fans were singing, "Who's the bastard in the black?" Well, the most cursory glance at Wikipedia will reveal that Mark Clattenburg's parents were wed long before his birth and remain happily married to this day. Not to mention that the current official referee kit is available in turquoise, daffodil and chartreuse.
Oh, now you're just being overly literal for the sake of it.
Well, I just think, what's the name? What's the name? What's the name as referee? Works perfectly well. Okay, how about may the best team win, may the best team win. I'm sure the ref's eyesight is fine. There's no need to be ableist.
Is that honestly the best you can come up with?
Well, I've still got a few zingers. You're going home in a Skoda Octavia. Truthful, and might I add, much less aggressive. Follow it up with a couple of verses of All Things Bright and Beautiful, and the atmosphere at Mallard Road will be positively electric.
But not everybody's going home in a Skoda Octavia, are they? So that's a lie. Checkmate Desmond Tutu.
Now who's being overly literal for the sake of it? The chant obviously means any mid-market estate car, as it says in St. Paul's letter to Corinthians.
Oh, that's enough from both of you. We're done here.
Wait, we've got more ideas. How about this? Johnson's Undertakers have said they'll sponsor the away end. Imagine the slogan, Dudley Mallards, their stiff opposition.
Get out.
Well, that's not very fair. I've been on thought for the day. Who's the bastard? Who's the bastard? Who's the bastard in chartreuse? Draw aside the veil and enter. Easy does it. That beaded curtain's already fallen down once this week. I mean, what brings you to this domain of the arcane?
Well, I'm hoping to understand... Hang on. Aren't you Mr. Twinkly Bubbles, the children's entertainer?
We who walk the esoteric path where many guys...
It is you! You hogged the bouncy castle at my son's birthday for 4 hours to put on a one-man King Lear.
Were you not entertained?
It was magnetic, energetic, but ultimately slightly unsatisfying, and the performance lacked nuance, and 4 of the kids fainted.
Well, you can't make a living from children's parties, even for a man of my talents. Do you want this tarot reading or not?
Yes, I still do. I'm at something of a crossroads in my life, and...
Well then, sit down and let us begin. Draw one card at a time and lay it down.
Okay then. Oh, I know. The death card doesn't mean your literal death. It means change. The end of one life and the beginning of the new.
Oh, indeed it does, but allow me to explain. In your specific case, the death card means a change from being alive to being not alive. Have you had any unexplained headaches, palsy, malaise, a bad case of the staggers?
No, I feel fine.
Well, enjoy it while it lasts. I've been wrong before. Let's see what the next card tells us. Ah, the Chariot.
And what does that signify?
The Chariot often means that you will overcome an obstacle through strength of will and determination. But in this case, it means that you will die from being run over by a chariot.
What? How?
The cards reveal only what wants to be revealed. Do you know any Romans? Probably worth giving the Amish a wide berth as well. Chariot could mean any horse-drawn vehicle.
I don't believe this. I'll draw one more and then I'm leaving. Right, the sun. And you better have a better interpretation than the last 2.
Of course. It's obvious. You'll be on the front page of The Sun for being the first person since the 12th century to be killed by a chariot. That'll be £25, please.
No, fine, I'm off.
Nobody ever believes me about the Amish.
Morning there, Ron love. 8 sausages, 4 lamb cutlets, couple of pork chops, and I'll have half a pound of Yeti as well, please.
No Yeti, I'm afraid. And if any meat wholesaler tells you any different, you take it from me. That's just a dead guy in a gorilla suit.
You sold me Yeti last week.
Unrelated. You got the last real one.
Speaking of exotic meat, Ron, our supplier says he's got a Pegasus we can have, but the wings have already gone.
Oh, that's just an horse, Darren. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and you're disinfecting the slicer. Again. Here you go, Mrs. Boothroyd. The fitting room is behind you. Let me know if you need any help.
This might be a silly question, but what exactly is that fitting room for?
No idea. It was there when we took over. The older customers seem to like it, so we just let them get on with it.
As I see it, there are 2 possibilities. They're fitting the meat into something, or they're fitting something into the meat.
Given that neither of those eventualities will be viewed favourably by the Food Standards Agency, we don't talk about it. Now, what will it be, Mr. Cartwright?
I'll have a pork chop. That beef looks good.
Grass-fed. You know, I saw your Kira the other day, playing hopscotch outside the shop.
Which is funny, because sometimes when the shutters are down, we play jump rope with the sausages.
How is that keeping it to ourselves, Darren?
Schools bend it. Too much upping. All the kids have one leg shorter than the other. You should see our Kira. She can hardly walk straight.
Mince?
It's more of a drunken stagger. Pound of that beef, please, Ron. She's too embarrassed to walk home from school with me now. She just limps along behind.
Lean?
It's like being stalked by the Tower of Pisa. I'll take the 10% fat, Ron. The missus was sick as a dog after I made her that Yeti casserole. She was throwing up all night into a bucket.
Fillet?
Right to the brim. Any chance of a sympathetic discount?
That's right on.
I can't. Fitting room's busy.
Excuse me, love. Could you take these sausages in? Just a couple of links.
Of course.
I'll be in the booth. Just chuck 'em over the curtain.
Are you not the least bit curious about what she's up to in there? What if she's gone full gaga? You'll lose your licence.
Fair point. And that Yeti business has bollocksed our hygiene rating. There's only one thing for it, Darren. You're going to have to go and take a peek.
Me? Why me? Take a peek at a woman ensconced in a booth with a pork chop? It would violate client butcher confidentiality.
Oh, that's not a thing.
I do solemnly swear never to peek at Mrs. Boothroyd's cutlets.
Mrs. Boothroyd, everything to your liking?
Oh, yes, thank you, love. I'll take 'em.
That'll be £12, please.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Don't you want to solve the mystery? Last week I saw a man go in, and when he came out, he was completely made of meat.
People are made of meat. What did you think they were made of?
Not sure exactly. Thought it probably had something to do with Lego. Can you throw in some of that seasoning?
For the chop?
If the missus finds out about that Yeti, I will be. Why don't you take down the curtain, then you'll be able to see what they're up to. Quick, before the next customer comes in.
Morning. 6 chicken fillets, please, Darren. Send to the fitting room.
The curtain's been dry cleaned. Don't worry, we operate with the utmost discretion.
Well, if you say so.
Is she?
Looks like it.
You know what this means?
What?
It's curtains for the butcher's shop.
Yes, curtains. And vegan sausages. Darren, order the quinoa.
This episode of Giggle Niblets was written and performed by Rachel Johnston, Gemma Dagner, Anthony Thomason and John Duckworth. The lead writers for this episode were John Duckworth and Rachel Johnston, with additional silliness from the Manchester Comedy Writing Collective.